Hey there, imaginary acquaintances. Hmm. I'm gonna wing it for a while, and then I'll check the notes, which I had to make. I was okay. I wanted to show something else first, but when I got here, I thought, I might as well save that for the end, although I don't know how that's gonna end up looking. And when I put the tune Skongrin on the door, I guess there's some picture in psychology. It's not now how to pronounce it. Rorschach or something, I don't know. Rorschach, I guess it would be more close to the original. But it's some image, and then the catch is to say what does that picture of a boy on the doorstep mean to you. Have no clue, but if in this regard, I guess it could mean some waiting for something. Later on we're gonna go into game, because the streams are a bit static, but that's not what the streams are about. I put the title right away, and I think this is more gonna be reaction than reflections. My mind has been elsewhere lately, and I like to think things through, but I haven't really done that. It's more gonna be trying to remember my initial thoughts. So I was thinking if I should do this at all, and I guess after all this time, that was some pretty as close as it gets to some real data. And on one hand, it doesn't need any talking about, but maybe it does. Okay, that was an alert. Maybe it's my internet, maybe it's something else, I don't know. Let's leave it at that. Hopefully things stay okay. So now I completely forgot everything. Yeah, because I guess he is mostly involved in Lost Ark. I was afraid that that may be some kind of message, but I guess not, and I hope not. Okay, let's get into it. I love the interview. A lot was said. I don't know what was cut and why, but I mean, with it or without it, the interview was great. And yeah, let me make this absolutely clear. Even if it was 3 hours, I would love it. But since I do everything by heart and keep things in my head, it was a bit tricky to remember everything. I did rewatch it a couple of days ago, so it was 3 hours for me. And I don't know, I was, I guess, very right and very wrong about things. And of course, disclaimer, waiver, call it what you want, you know, that was still a theory. I mean, even if nothing is shown by the end of the year, this is pretty much, you know, some nice data. And until they reveal something tangible, I guess this will do. Okay, I will not. I kinda got my thoughts messed up, but I'll try to get back on track. Yeah. I guess this isn't really music for. Let's get into game and they'll.
A dark wind is blowing.
Okay, this is it. I guess I'll have to move with mouse. Now let's see how the stream will do.
Tell me of your travels.
I don't have many flight paths here. Let's use this one.
May your days
And I'll go outside. Okay, it is grainy, but never mind. So, okay, 7 minutes. I rambled for way too long. Let's try to get this together. So, like I said, I usually don't take notes. I had to this time, and like I said, I avoid watching my videos and changing titles for the same reason, because, you know, then it's a chore, you know, remembering and writing down stuff, and I do it after even, so extra problematic for me. But let's see some main things. And why I said that other stuff before is because I think my initial reactions were better for this interview and for other things. Okay, let's just check. Okay, I said this. Okay, I said this. Okay. Now let's see what's most important. Okay, not really. Okay, let's maybe what's least important. It was said in the interview that something about trickling down of the information, and, you know, some reveals being made I don't know when, and that's speculation, and I really don't wanna go into that anymore. I hope it's soon, but it's probably not. And one of the reasons why that also has impact on other stuff is, you know, it's good, competition is good, and they just the existence of the RIOT MMO and its potential release. I mean, potential, we all hope it's gonna release soon, but just the notion of it, to rephrase that a bit better, you know, makes, in my opinion, other games, you know, be better, I guess, you know. But I don't wanna go into that now. So, you know, that part of the interview you can interpret the way you want. I don't want to go into that. It's kinda, for me, doesn't sound really that promising, but I hope I'm wrong. Now for the other stuff, so let's get into the, yeah, I'm just, it doesn't matter, but as for the human customization, I mentioned that in my previous RIOT MMO stream. It is kinda tricky, but I mean, they can add races later on with new continents and stuff. That's one thing, and the other thing is okay, let me say it like this. When it comes to go the middle, it's the truth is in the middle. So having too little customization is bad, but having it too many, I think that can be bad too, because I'm one of the people that spends way too much time in there, and I guess WoW did it good in that regard, because now all you have to pay attention to is your race, your name, and your class. Everything else you can change in game, so you can pretty much hit that random button and change stuff later on. But I think that's a good idea. And for the other thing, like I said, having it making way too complex, I don't think that would be a good way to go. But why I'm saying this is, when you think of races, fantasy races, and now that I think of it, when you think of that WoW early Chris Metzen art, orcs were just humans with some extreme kind of humans, let me say it like that. And when you think of the races in fantasy, that's what they really are. They are humans with some exaggerated features, and maybe some more added. So you can get away with having only humans if you make them real good, real nice, with some options and stuff. So that is kinda, it feels like lacking, but it can be pulled off in those two ways. So I was thinking if I should go into this other stuff, but I might as well. Now let's see. Okay, I'll try to I think it was pretty much confirmed that it's gonna be okay. Let me say it like this: nothing is really confirmed, but most probably it's gonna be free to play, which I think it's very good, which means that all the MMO players and League of Legends players, and then some, a lot of players that have never played any of those will also give it a go. So I think that's a very good decision. Yeah, when I totally forgot about this one. When okay, let me just once again move. When when I first started talking in my first video that I made about RIOT MMO, I was thinking that it's gonna be a tab targeting game, and I understand that maybe not the best of views, but okay. And I understand that it's maybe a new, next best thing, but WoW recently released those evokers, and I only needed to see one time those new spells, with I guess they are action combat or whatever, and I really wasn't getting it. Maybe I'm very wrong, maybe it is better, maybe it's not, but okay, there he is. Okay, let me get there. Oh no, I guess there is no. I'll try to get away, I don't want to get into combat now. Let's make it look a bit better. So, I mean, there is no reason to... Let me first do this and then I'll get into... Though there's nothing really to say there. Yeah, there he is. In one of the streams I mentioned... Okay. Ferdinand. Hopefully it's gonna be safe here. I have... Okay, there we go. Not you. Okay, I think this is nice. So in one of the... Okay, I said that I'm gonna save that for last, but here we go. So in one of the streams I said that there is no Ferdinand in WoW, but I guess I was wrong. I think I totally forgot about it. I was passing through here the other day and I saw him, and then I remembered that I have encountered him before but have completely forgot about it. And now that this is out of the way, let's just zoom through. So like I said, I have no clue about action combat, and it seems foreign to me. Maybe it's the best thing ever, but I'm kinda glad they are going to go with the tab targeting. Maybe it's gonna be a bit a bit of a mix, but it suits me. So that's... and the third main thing I wanted to mention here is the view. Like I said, I was afraid, and when they mentioned that boss toe part, I said I can't believe it, they're gonna make it top down. But when I rewatched the video, I couldn't find the part when I started thinking completely opposite. But when I was thinking about it, it's probably the part when they said that about the combat, and when it was mentioned, you know, jumping over in third person. So that kinda for me is the confirmation that it's gonna be a third person, and give me a sec. Okay, stream is okay. So for me, that is as close as I could get from that interview that is going to be a third person, which I think is also very important to say. Now, let's finish. It's already way too long. Let's. Okay, I was thinking, you know, should I even go into other stuff, because, you know, but then, you know, it's my opinion, so, you know, why not? As for the okay, let's go into factions first. Factions, I think WoW is doing it okay now. I mean, I was always into faction pride, maybe foolishly, but you know, what's the point then? But I am for these new changes, and the new changes are that you can cooperate in PvE. But you know, let's speak in general. One of the WoW comic books, very old, I didn't really read it. I saw a couple of pages of it. It was in black and white, and you know, I prefer okay, let's not get into that, but I mean, of course it's better if it's in color, but I think 95 at least % of the comic books I read were black and white, and in that comic, and in many, you know, enemy organizations in WoW, there are all bunch of races, so that makes perfect sense, you know. If you are going into an adventure, you know, willingly or by chance, you just might, you know, get into a group with all bunch of races. So for me it makes perfect sense for you to go PvE with all the races, even from the opposing factions. And if we even, you know, go into IRL, you know, you can have, you know, countries that are at war, and still, you know, the chances maybe are not that high, but you know, their citizens and or those or nationals, I guess, could cooperate. I mean, criminals especially, but you know, ordinary people as well, you know, they can meet somewhere and have a common interest, and or just, you know, don't have any animosities between each other. So I mean, let's not go into overboard here, and I mean, you know, it makes sense for opposing factions to be able to cooperate in PvE and PvP. Of course, it makes a bit more sense if it's if the battleground, or I mean, especially in arena, but if the battleground is you know, some neutral kind of thing, then even more. Though of course the preferable option would be, you know, to be faction against faction, but you know, the other way also makes sense. But I think it should be rarer, to be perfectly clear. You know, it's better one way, but the other way should be okay in some instances. Let's not get into that too much now. The video is way too long already. And two more things. Yeah, combat wise, I already talked about it also. You know, Counter-Strike, it doesn't really feel good to be one-shotted. For the guy that, you know, has headshot, great, but the other guy, I said this already, but let me say it again. You know, you know, the WoW arena at its worst, when you know, wait for an hour for dampening, that's the other extreme. That's bad. But you know, you should have enough time to you know, for a battle to last, you know, at least couple of minutes. Now, saying that, when I got myself into that winter grasp and saw that 40-minute timer, I would leave and I wouldn't be the only one. And you know, 15 minutes desert debuff, and when you re-queue, you end up in the same battleground, and again, you wouldn't be the only one. And you know, you can often see the comments, you know, I left, ate the desert debuff, joined, and this thing is still going on. I think battlegrounds shouldn't last over 25 minutes. Even 25 minutes is, you know, debatable, but over 25 minutes, that's too long. And okay, and the last thing is about the rare drops. Okay, let me close this. I mean, it's hard to be okay, maybe if you're the best PvEer or PvPer, but you know, I think it's hard to feel that special in an MMO. I think that's more of an single player and, you know, old MMO kind of thing. Now, you know, everything is on internet, and you know, if there is something real good, you know, most people will go for it, especially if it's easy. I think lately I've seen, you know, and that's, you know, great thing, you know, people sharing useful info. I saw some, you know, find on in this new expansion of WoW, somebody, I mean, a lot of people found some free bag, big free bag, and they are sharing that info, and everybody's gonna go for it. I mean, even PvEers are gonna be jealous because of the DPS meters, let alone, you know, PvPers, if they feel it's gonna be, you know, unfair advantage. I mean, even if it's slightly better thing, if they have some rare drop weapon, to make myself perfectly clear here, you know, it's gonna make, you know, it's a lose-lose situation for me. I mean, it's doable, of course. It's not that big of a deal, but still, you know, if you have that rare weapon and you don't win, then, you know, look at him, he has the best weapon and he still lost. And if he wins, then it's a, you know, guarantee. Of course he won. He doesn't know how to play well, but he has that broken weapon. I mean, with cosmetics it's a bit better, but like I said, I'm not really too much against this, but you know, in PvP, if it's a lot better than, you know, and if it's not gained from PvP, but you know, those are long shot issues, so you know, I just wanted to mention it. No need to get into that. Then I really can't make a video that's under 30 minutes. I hope you guys had fun. If anyone stayed this for this long, we gonna end it here with an old salute.
See you soon. Real soon.